Hey, Sid, how you doing, buddy?
Good man, just hot. Guess we're in that summer period. Can't wait for it to cool down
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. It's peak summer, buddy, and obviously it's the festive season as well, so it's kind of busy everywhere. Eh? So the best place to
Mm,
be is at home.
or also to the beach, depending on what you
To the
prefer.
beach, or yeah, or watching some cricket at home. So which is what I'm going to do today.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
speaking of the cricket,
Shopping is done,
yeah, man.
so it's time to watch
Okay,
some cricket.
yep. So let's quickly get into it now. Okay, the third test was mostly rained out, but India did show some resilience to draw the third test. Although Australia was pretty much wishing they had our kind of weather, which would have probably given them a chance of winning the third test. So, what were your thoughts on that test?
I think Australia would be disappointed that they didn't get that job done. Hey, unfortunately, 280 overs was lost in that test match.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you lose 280 overs, it's very difficult to get a result in
Hmm.
any kind of league. But so the most frustrating part about that game was obviously the rain, and
Hmm.
Australia tried to make a game of it on the final day, but there was never enough time. There was never enough
Hmm.
time. So I got a question to ask you. Psychologically, who would this suit? Because I think Australia would feel a bit disappointed in not getting that win, and then India,
Hmm.
when you saw those two guys, Akash and who was it batting with Akash at the end? Oh,
I
Bumrah.
think Bumrah.
Was it
Yeah.
Bumrah? Yeah, I mean, you saw the jubilation in the Indian dressing room
Hmm.
when they
Hmm. Yeah.
avoided
Kohli
that
and
follow one.
Gautam
So
Gambhir. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, this is what the test match actually went to. It was
Hmm.
India were absolutely down and out, and they needed
Hmm.
something. So I think psychologically this would help India in a way,
Hmm. Hmm. What?
because Australia
Yeah.
would be disappointed, and remember now you're going to go to Melbourne, where
Mm-hmm.
India,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, have won the last two Boxing Day tests against Australia,
Hmm.
so they do have an advantage there.
Hmm. But then you did mention about Boland. He's very good in Melbourne, but that pitch was just too spicy, man, against England. I mean, that was crazy. Although not as crazy as Cape Town, but it was crazy. Oh yeah, funny times. No, but
I
seriously, I
don't want to
think
talk about Cape Town. I don't want to talk about
I
that.
know,
Would be
I
the
know,
one.
I know, I know, and I'm just being naughty. No, but seriously, I think it would be with India because India would have felt they got out of jail, so it gives them the momentum to try and win the series 2-3-1. If they do win a 2-1, it would have been three times in a row they've won a series in Australia 2-1. Although saying that they've also won at home 2-1, so I mean I guess 2-1 is becoming a favorite number for India. So I think 2-1 is more realistic because Sydney it rains a lot, so I think that's pretty much how it is. Although the fourth test is now at
But
Melbourne. Pardon? Oh,
if
sorry,
India were
Avish.
to win in Australia, sir,
Uh huh.
and
Uh huh.
were to win, if India were to win this test series, I mean, we talk about the test series in Australia, this would be unprecedented. I mean, three
Hmm.
times in a row. I don't think the Aussies have ever been beaten three times in a
Hmm.
row by a single opposition. So that would be historical. But let's delve a little bit deeper into this Indian situation at the moment.
Mhm.
My only issue with the side at the moment, I mean, the bowling looks quite good at times,
Mhm. Mhm.
is the batting. The batting,
Hmm.
I mean, if you take away that second innings in Perth, I mean, it's been pretty dour. So let's be honest.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
Adelaide, they got blown away. They got blown away in that first innings in Perth, and then
Hmm.
obviously they did show a bit of resilience here in Brisbane. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, if you look at it, they far behind the eight ball, and another problem for them is the headache that they have at the moment, which is Travis Head. I mean, they can
Hmm.
get the top three out quite quickly, but whenever Travis Head is at the crease, India don't
Yeah.
seem to have a plan against him.
Yeah. I think.
So that's a
Yeah.
big concern for them.
Yeah.
I think
Sunil
if they can
Gavaskar.
find if they can fine tune those two things there, then I think
Yeah.
they'll be really dangerous going to Melbourne, because I think Melbourne would suit their playing style. So if they can get their batting act together and find a way to actually bowl to Travis Head and try and get him out, not
Mhm.
not not try and spread the field and give him easy signals and stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
You got to try and attack him.
Hmm. But I think they're not bowling the right sort of lines to him. They got a ball short ball at him. I know Sunil Gavaskar was very puzzled by why they're not bowling a lot of short ball at him at the beginning just to see how he does. So that if he does play it well, then kudos to him. But if you're not going to do it at the beginning, you're kind of giving him a head start. So I think they got to do that. But my only criticism of Australia, right? I thought they should have declared after that second day, if you know what I mean. Because you got to give yourself more time to play. You know, I don't know why they kept betting on that third day. I mean, fine, even if India had passed the follow-on, they could have still batted again during that third day, maybe. If you know what, not third day, maybe fourth day, maybe, if you know what I mean. And then
Yeah,
still had to
another thing to
go again. So I think they probably missed a
yeah.
trick there. Hmm?
Also, I mean, I don't think they anticipated that there'd be so much of rain in this game as well. So that was the other kind of situation that they didn't take into account. Well, I mean, with India, they all they wanted to was avoid that follow on. That was the only aim because I mean, had they gone in
Yeah.
again and follow on, I mean, only
Hmm.
God knows what would have happened.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
mean, batting lineup apart
Yeah.
from I honestly I think the best player at the moment has been KL Rahul in that lineup. Uh, Ever since the first test, he's looked
Yeah,
quite good.
that's
Hey,
true.
he's looked quite assured in
Hmm.
defense as well.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the guys, I
Hmm.
mean, Punk, you're going to get something from him. My biggest disappointment was Bracewell. He seems to not have kicked on since Perth.
Yeah. I don't know. Although I like the look of Nitish Reddy, he's got a lot of promise. Maybe they should give him a promotion up the order, give him some opportunities to suck up some deliveries and then play his shots. So yeah, I've actually called me crazy, but I'm gonna go with India to win in Melbourne. Eh? Okay, what were you saying, Avish?
Yeah, I was just talking about the Indian batting set. I mean,
Mm, mm, mm,
I
mm,
think the best player has been KL Rahul. He's looked quite assured since the
mm,
first test. There's too many question marks in that batting
mm,
lineup. Punt can give you a good innings here and there, but I
mm,
think the biggest disappointment for me has been Jaiswal because
mm,
I thought they were expecting big things from Jaiswal after that first
mm,
test, and he hasn't delivered. And the problem with India, they haven't had good opening partnerships as well. I don't know if you
mm.
agree with me, and that's been putting them on the back foot. To be honest with you, this series has been.
Yeah.
If you look at the number of wickets that bowlers have taken already, I mean, Bumrah is
Mm,
on 20 wickets after three. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, he could end up with 30 wickets in the series. That would be like, Shane
yeah.
Warne esque kind of, kind of a tally. But
He
yeah,
could.
I mean, both
Yeah.
batting lineups, especially the top orders, have been quite brittle. I don't know if you agree
I
with me. They've
think
been quite brittle
no,
in that sense.
I think Australia have been slightly better than at the bat. I mean, they batted better in Adelaide, and then they also batted really well at Brisbane. I just think rain let them down. That's why I thought they should have just declared after that second day. But anyway, that's that. But I think Nitish really should be up the order here. So he can, because he can also suck up delivery. If you notice, he's quite a patient guy. Wasn't patient, but he's quite a sensible guy. I mean, when he batted with the top guy, he hasn't like gone reckless. It's only when he's with the lower order that he go over the top in a good way. So I think he should be given a promotion up the order. I don't know if you feel that way.
So yeah, you're talking about Rohit Sharma.
No, no, Nitish Reddy. You know, Rohit Sharma has been hopeless.
Nitish Reddy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nitish has been one of the bright spots as well. I mean, sorry. I think Nitish Reddy has been one of the finest for the
Hmm.
series for India
Hmm.
as well, especially in an
Hmm. Hmm.
all-rounder role. But yeah, uh, I think he should be batting at number five.
Hmm.
But my question is, how do you juggle the batting order there? Because you've got
Hmm.
you've got Sharma now. Sharma has actually demoted himself to number six,
Re-
which I actually don't agree with. Sid, I think he should be batting up the order. I mean, he's the captain. He's supposed to be leading from the front.
Unless,
So
yeah,
I mean,
unless Rohit Sharma decides to maybe, I guess they put KL at number 3, right? And then if you put Kohli, or what about this for a left field move? But then you can't have Rohit Sharma and KL opening the batting because it kind of you have two really. Although you could, because you could have Rohit Sharma doing a bit of baseball. It could be like one of those pinch hitting openers. You could change his complete style of batting. Put KL at number 3, and then you have him and Jaiswal still grinding the bowlers, and then your fourth could be who was the fourth batsman? I forgot now.
Kohli,
Oh yeah, Kohli. I could have forget about King Kohli.
Kohli, Gill.
Yeah, Kohli could.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, look.
I forgot about Gill at number 3. Nah, there's too much kitchery, man. If I do
What,
that,
what, what, about- what about putting Jaiswal in at number 3 and just letting KL and Rohit
but
open?
then
What do you think about that?
who was open?
Just let Rohit and KL open and put Jaiswal at number 3. Because the problem with Jaiswal at the moment, he's got some problems with
Then
Mitchell
what about
Stark.
poor Gill? It'll be too much kitchery, man. I just realized Gill bats at number 3. It'll be too much kitchery with that batting
Yeah,
order.
look, that is an issue. That is an issue.
Mm.
Uh, but I mean, look, I just feel he's getting into too much of trouble at number 6 for some reason. He doesn't actually know what game he wants to play. But I honestly think Rohit now he's got to go play his natural game. Man.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to block it out because
Yeah.
we all know he's not that kind of player. So you
He
just
should
got to
just
go play
play.
your natural game and take it to the opposition.
He should
I mean,
do
just
an Adam
just look how
Gilchrist.
Travis here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at what Travis did. Travis is just playing his
Yeah.
natural game, and he's taking bowlers to all parts of
Yeah.
all parts of the ground. I mean, 2 back-to-back centuries. He's been the better of the series so far. India have got to find a plan against him, sir. Unless if India don't find a plan against him, they're going to lose the series. They are going to lose the series. So they've got to find a plan to get Travis Head out. I think another problem for India, the support bowlers have not been good enough. I mean, Bumrah has been a class above the rest. The support bowlers have got to be, adding a little bit more. And what disappointed me in that third test as well, Sid, I mean, you had Australia 3 down for close to nothing, and then you let them off the hook. You really took the foot off the pedal there, and you didn't actually try and bowl them out, which I think India was so good in Perth, where they were so aggressive to Australia, and they just let Steve Smith. I mean, that's one guy you don't want to get back into form, and they did get him back into form as well. That partnership with the Head. So
Yeah.
I just think India let the game drift there. I don't know if you agree with me.
I think India's got a bit of a brain fade when it comes to Travis Head. And also, I think that Australia also made a few goof ups by not declaring and by dropping KL Rahul. Had they not dropped KL Rahul, they could have had chances of winning this match because that partnership with KL Rahul and Jadeja really sucked the life out of Australia. And then that tail end of partnership just did the finishing touches. So, yeah, I was happy, but India must save the rain. I was calling it when I was chatting with you and Yuvi at rain will save India, and well, it did. So
Yeah, I mean, we did expect that as well. I mean, the only results that we could have anticipated was an Aussie win or a draw. I mean, it wasn't going to be any other result because India was so behind the
but call
game.
me,
But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You were mentioning about Australia didn't have the perfect game. So basically, psychologically, they'd be disappointed in a way that would be hurting them that they didn't get the win there. So yeah, I think India, by all means, I mean, we're calling it the great escape at the Gabba. It is the great escape. I mean, Gabba seems to be a happy hunting ground for India lately, eh? So
Yeah. But I'm predicting.
I
Pardon?
think, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, go for it.
I know you first.
Yeah, so psychologically, that would give India a boost. But I mean, there's 2 problems there with India at the moment. Is their batting? They need to get their batting act together because their batting has been really average. And then obviously they their plans against Ed needs to change as
Yeah.
well. I mean, you got to try and get him out.
Yeah.
You got to try and keep attacking fields because you got to spread the field to this guy. This guy's going to take you to the cleaners. He's going to take you to the cleaners.
But getting on to the fourth test, call me
Sorry, go
no.
for it.
Getting to that fourth test, call me crazy. I think India's gonna win it. And then I'll tell you why. They have nothing to lose in the sense that they know Sydney is pretty much a problematic test with so much rain. It's like it'll be like Brisbane, but not as crazy. So if you notice with Sydney, it's been raining the last couple of seasons, and it's become such a dead draw. So India will think we got to win Melbourne. So at least we'll have the guarantee of for insurance that we'll win the series again 2-1, because I don't think we can get a result in Sydney. So they got to win Melbourne.
Well, look, if they're winning, if they're winning Melbourne, they're going to retain the trophy.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's a plus for India. I mean, given what has happened, they're going to retain it. And in Australia would be absolutely
Mm.
destroyed if they don't win the series as well. Given the problems that India
Mm.
are coming in
Mm.
from the series, given the form that India are coming into the series and stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, this is not something to that's so far fetched, because I mean India do play well at Melbourne,
Mm.
and I did say it earlier on. They won the last two Boxing Day tests. So I mean I can't wait for this test match. So this is
Mm.
the one.
Mm.
This is the test match that's going to set the series
Mm.
up. I mean, forget about Sydney. I mean, we all know what can happen in Sydney. I mean, more often than not, unless you play very bad like Pakistan and lose, a Sydney test normally ends.
Mm.
A Sydney test normally ends in a draw. So, uh, look, there is going to be rain at
Yeah.
Sydney. We all know that during the New Year series. So this is the game.
Mm.
This is the game that sets up the series. Absolutely, it's a blockbuster.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call that one for India. What about you?
Funny enough, I'm going to agree with you. I think India are going to win this test match.
Yeah. And imagine if they win,
Yeah, India are going to
and
win
imagine if
2-1.
yeah, and imagine if India win the series, it'll be thanks to one person, Bumrah. That's it. Imagine one bowler could
Boomerang.
single-handedly win you a series. Who would have thought?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think Australia. I mean, look at Australia. Australia's in a bit of crisis at the moment because I mean they brought the kid Sweeney in, and now they're dropping him.
Hmm.
I mean, if you that is so un-Australian like Sid. I mean, to bring a guy in. I mean, we know he's a young guy,
Hmm.
but I mean, you're not showing faith in him now. And you're bringing in
He's
Constance
quite talented
for
though.
the first test. So
Hmm.
he is quite talented, but I mean, to throw him into a game like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
against a world
Hmm.
class
Hmm.
bowling attack
Hmm.
is a really a baptism of fire, Sid,
Yeah.
for the kids.
But they got
So
nothing to lose also.
Australia, Australia, Australia have got some problems up the order, which I think India can exploit.
Hopefully.
Especially, I mean, Kawaj is a walking wicket at the moment. Kawaj is a walking wicket. I mean,
uh,
he Labuskakni. I mean, I know they call him Labuschagne,
hmm.
but it's Labuskakni.
Yeah.
He's a walking wicket as well. So, excuse
That's
me.
okay.
I guess you're only looking at three batters there in that Aussie
Hmm.
lineup. I mean, looking at Steve Smith, you're looking at Head, and you're looking at Alex
Yeah.
Carey. Alex Carey is always going to contribute down the order. So Australia have probably got three batsmen, and they've got their batting problems as well.
Hmm.
So they do have their batting problems. So I think it's a bad move from Australia in a way to drop McSweeney, because uh, I I think if in order to
That's
excuse me,
okay.
in order to win a test match, in order to win a series, you've got to have continuity in selection.
Ah.
If you back a guy in the first game,
Yeah.
you've got to back him off over all five.
Hmm.
And he's a young guy, man.
Yeah.
And look, Uzi's not getting any younger, son. I think if you wanted to drop anyone, you would have just dropped Uzi instead, and bring in constancy. But I mean, you want to keep that bit of experience.
Yeah.
I understand.
Hmm.
I understand that. But I mean, Uzi is not in the best of form. Let's be honest. He can't buy a run at the moment, the way he's playing. So it's a really puzzling selection for me to bring in Constance. I would have probably bring in Constance in the Sri Lanka series. I wouldn't have mind there, but I think for these five test series, it was very important to keep continuity. And obviously, Hazelwood is
Hmm.
out, and you've got Boland coming in, which I think Boland is going to be quite
Hmm.
dangerous at Melbourne.
Hmm.
But I think also India, if they do get their act together and with the batting as well, they can negate that threat. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah, I'm also back in Indian win there.
Yeah.
I think it's been a happy hunting ground for India.
Yeah.
They've had a quite a formidable record there in recent times. So that's why I'm going to go for
To
India.
be honest, I don't mind contests because they got nothing to lose also. So I mean, let's see how it goes. I mean, if they look stupid, we don't mind it. But if they don't, then they look like geniuses. Let's put it like that.
Look, I think Australia have got a lot more to lose in the series
Yeah,
than India
that's why I
said,
think they've gone that
because I
move.
mean they're playing at home.
Hmm.
They playing at home, and they've got to win the series in order to keep their WTC hopes alive, and
Mm,
being the home team as well. And I was just checking some numbers there. The Boxing Day Test matches are sold out fair. So
nice.
I mean, the public is going to watch this game, so there's going to be big spotlight on them. So yeah, I can't wait for this game. This is one of the most exciting times of the year,
Uh,
watching this Test match.
okay, so your quick thoughts on Pakistan winning another, I would say another, but I think they have won ODI series in South Africa before, if you remember. So Pakistan seem to like playing ODIs in South Africa, especially the 50 over version. But I must admit, Pakistan have surprised me. They played really competitively in the series. I mean, even the T20, that could have gone either way. And then now they've kind of shown their class in the 50 overs. So I think today is the final one. So I think I'm going to expect South Africa to win because I think there might be a bit of kitchery Pakistan with their changes maybe. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been a pretty decent one day side. Let's give them that. I mean, I think this is the kind of format that suits them.
Hmm.
I just feel SA in a way. In the back of my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I just feel they didn't really give up their best in the series. They were kind of holding back in a way. And to be honest with you, I mean, we all know the big picture here is the Test series.
Hmm.
I mean, that's vital at the moment. And SA are one win away.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the series has been a bit of a hindrance. So close to the Test matches as well. But I mean, that being said, Pakistan have played some good. Pakistan have played some great cricket, and that first game was an absolute thriller in a way, mind you. That could have went either
Hmm.
way. I thought SA did pretty well to come back into this. There are a few puzzling selections from SA in that second game as well. I mean, Patrick Quayo as well. I mean, I've never been a big fan of him, and I'm not sure why this coaching staff continued backing because I don't see him in the future plans. And I think players that you are going to see in future plans, I think those are the ones that are going to,
Hmm.
should be given selection because I mean this by all means is actually a prelude, a warm up for the Champions Trophy next year. So I take the series as the free hit out, sir, to be honest with you.
It's what?
It's just about getting combinations right. It's a hit out.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
hit
okay,
out.
okay.
It's a hit out. It's a hit out. Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, about getting combinations and stuff right. And I think they could have blooded a few different players in this series. But let's see today. Let's see today. It'll be interesting today who they play. And I think, as you were saying, ping ball chess. Who's won the toss, by the way?
Oh, what do you mean pink ball test? There's no pink ball test.
Sorry. Today is the ping day. Ping day
Oh, really? My
at the
wow, I didn't
Wanderers.
know that. Okay, let me see. Let me go on.
Yeah, yeah,
Let me go
yeah.
onto my phone quickly. Okay. Oh yeah, that's okay. It doesn't say at the moment. Match yet to begin, unless what time is it? Oh, it says match delayed by rain. It's in Johannesburg, a day nighter. It's delayed by rain, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh my word.
Either Pakistan will win it 2-0 or either SA will win a consolation prize. So it doesn't make much difference. I think SA won't mind the rest in a way to get to prepare their bowlers. And yeah, I think that's how I look at it, honestly. But I think the pitches were quite interesting. They were quite subcontinental. Pakistan were really turning that ball one way in the first ODI. And then I think I know Clausen was surprised by the reverse swing by Shine Afridi. I didn't actually stick that delivery. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did. I did. I mean, he was superb, especially in that second game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It was a bit of a puzzling decision on the toss for Babuma to actually win the toss and bowl first
Oh,
because Cape Town was always being a bat
yeah.
first kind of wicket.
Yeah.
So I was a bit puzzled from Babuma there, and I think there was a few bright lights in the series for SA so
Hmm.
far. I mean, Klassen's form has been superb. I
Hmm.
mean, if he had any assistance
Hmm.
on Thursday,
Hmm.
I mean, watch out. He could have taken SA home in that game there. So
That's true.
I think his form is looking pretty good going into the Champions Trophy. So
Hmm.
I'm very happy about that. And then Mapaka in that final game, I think he showed what he's capable of as a
Yeah.
bowler. I mean, 471 on
Okay.
debut. I think that's a pretty good return.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean some decent performances. But to be honest with you, I'm not very too interested about the result of the series because as I said, the main focus is the test matches at the moment,
But
and
the only issue I
obviously
have.
come Champions Trophy.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, go for it, go
No,
for
no,
it.
I know you first.
Yeah, I think come Champions Trophy time, then obviously ODIs take a big importance. But at the moment, I don't think ODI cricket is that important. I think the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing is getting to
Mm.
the WTC final, and then you take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
You focus on white ball thereafter. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I guess my
yeah, sure,
winning
go for it.
convincingly, especially in this. No, I said my only issue with Pakistan winning convincingly after the second ODI in the series is that that might take confidence going into a series. And a confident Pakistan is a dangerous Pakistan. So I think, although the pitch were subcontinental, so I don't know how much you can really, as you say, read into it. But I guess in the Test series, if SA do prepare some nice, spicy pitches. Although I think the pitches against Sri Lanka were quite fair. I don't think they were over. They didn't move, but they weren't like as bad as other pitches. So I think they were good pitches, eh? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, were good pitches, no doubt about it. Apart from Sri Lanka's brain fade in Durban in that first innings, I think it was pretty good pitches. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting you're talking about Pakistan taking confidence. I suppose they can take confidence in the sense that they've got acclimatized to conditions. But let's be honest. I mean, Test wickets and ODI wickets are totally different stuff.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, that red ball does so much more than
Mm.
than the white ball. And I think the most important thing for SA is they can strike first with it
Mm.
in with that red ball, and
Mm.
when the ball is still new and shiny. I think they can put Pakistan under a lot of pressure because they haven't really been good in test matches in recent times. So
Although they did beat England,
yeah,
although
I
those,
think that
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I guess so. But I mean, those conditions
yeah.
were so foreign
That's
compared to what they will be facing here.
yeah. That's and they
So
say yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think the test side is looking a lot more settled than the one day side.
Hmm.
To be honest with you, I think Coach Shukri has this test side in a very good space at the moment.
Hmm.
I think everybody in that team knows their role,
Hmm.
and the tail is. I mean, the tail is not looking so long at the moment with Mulder. If Mulder plays,
Hmm.
he adds another dimension to this team, and I do hope he does play. So I think SA should do well in that test series, and
Hmm.
yeah, I'm going to stick with my prediction of 2-0, 2-0.
Yeah, and also they're playing at venue
Yeah.
that suit them, so I think that's the only blessing for South Africa. Otherwise, if they played Pakistan and Sri Lanka in the places that they played in Sri Lanka, then I would have thought it's more even Stevens. But I think this is more SA's style, so I'm okay with that. I'll stick to 2-0 as well. And then SA will make it to the finals, and then the coach will be worshipped like anything. That's my prediction, if that happens.
It's kind of a big achievement, hey, in a way, because I mean, I think about SA the way they started this year, sending an understand team to New Zealand and I think literally forfeiting that series. And I mean, we coming to a point where SA are just one win
Hmm.
away from making the WTC final. That's massive.
Hmm.
That is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be amazing
So what's your
if that does
Yeah.
happen.
So
So
what's your thoughts on Bangladesh whooping West Indies butt in the T20? That was like really shocking. I looked at the catch-up highlights, and yeah, those pitches were quite interesting. To be polite, I mean, they were interesting pitches. I mean, they were kind of like they were kind of Bangladesh.
I,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I didn't really watch much of the action, but I was absolutely shocked, like you, about the result. I mean, 3-0 at home, and this is the Windies' strongest format. Let's be honest. And I mean, to get whitewashed at home against a team like Bangladesh, I mean, of all teams, that was a bit shocking for me. That was a bit
Yeah,
shocking for
I
me.
saw the
So
highlights. Bangladesh.
yeah, disappointing.
I saw the highlights though. Bangladesh played well, but I felt that I think West Indies might have not. Yeah, I don't know. It's really puzzling for me. I wonder if we covered that.
I, I just
Pardon?
feel I just feel the Windies have played a lot of cricket this year. I don't
Hmm.
know the players are a bit fatigued in a way, sir, because there's been so
Hmm.
much of cricket going on.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
I just saw Shy Hope. I just saw Shy Hope is actually playing in the big bash at the moment now for I think for the Hobart side.
Okay.
So these guys are playing non-stop. These guys are playing non-stop white ball cricket, so sometimes fatigue does kick in. But I mean, losing to Bangladesh at home, three is no excuse. Honestly, it's no excuse.
Yeah, I don't think they applied themselves.
You shouldn't be losing 3-0 to Bangladesh at home.
Even if you lose two
Mm.
one, I could take that. I mean, they had their chances in
Yeah.
one of the games, but anyway, I famously they say S word happens, so that's how I will put that. I think did we discuss New Zealand's consolation win in the third test last week, if you remember?
No, we didn't. I think it was towards the end of that chess match. But yeah, I mean, what a performance! But a bit too late. Hey, too little, too late. But I think that was the performance that New Zealand was actually looking for. Earlier on in the series. And I mean, if they held on to the catches, who knows what could have happened? Eh?
Hmm.
Who knows what could have happened?
Yeah. Oh,
But I mean, William coming back to the side. I mean, just look at it, Sid. It changed the fortunes of New Zealand. I mean, they had a good opening stand, which they didn't get, early on in the series with the Conway. So, I mean, just bringing William back in the side, it just changed New Zealand's fortunes in a way. So I was actually surprised why he wasn't picked for the earlier test because I mean, Conway, I mean, he can't buy a run at the moment, man. He can't hit the ball off the square.
hmm.
He's in he's in awful form
Hmm.
at the moment. So, and then obviously Saudi, I mean, the retirement. I mean, what a servant he's been to New Zealand cricket
Yeah.
in ODIs, Test T20. He's really carried this team, eh? So, I mean, we wish him well in his retirement. He's been a great bowler, one of the greats for New Zealand cricket, and yeah, I think one of the great international bowlers in the last 10 years. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's like the sad thing is, had he played for another team, he would have been given a lot of accolades. But when you're playing for a team like New Zealand, it's kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, very underrated in a way.
Hmm.
I still think in his country he would be considered a
Hmm.
great.
Of
I
course.
mean, the only bowler that's taken more wickets than him has been Sir Richard Hadley. So I mean, if you got Sir Richard Hadley in as company, I mean, you are certainly one of the greats up there. So yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a tough kind of transition for New Zealand in the next couple of years because they've got a few players that are aging in a way. So I mean, I'm not sure what the future holds for them, eh? In that sense, because there's a lot of players in that mid to high 30s in that side. So I'm not sure we're going to see more retirements on the way set because they don't play a lot of Test cricket until next year. So it's going to be interesting, eh?
I don't know if it's true, but I was hearing they could be going to Australia for a three-test series, so that'll be quite nice for them. So, but I think New Zealand is okay. I'm not worried about them because they don't hardly lose at home. Eh? They're quite a solid team. They had a brain fade like how India did when New Zealand came, so it's fine. They're allowed a brain fade. It's just that their fielding was so pathetic in the first test. I was like thinking, what the hell were they smoking? And then the pitches were also quite weird. I'm not saying the pitches were completely flat, but I would have thought after they won in India on those turning tracks, why not give the same thing to England and then see what would have happened? But I guess they backed themselves and but then, yeah, I think if they caught in the first test, maybe we wouldn't be talking about our favorite topic, pitches. So maybe it,
And look,
yeah. Hmm.
and look, we know how well England plays spin.
Hmm.
So why not give them the same chance? You know how well England plays spin, eh?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Why didn't they just prepare spin tops, against England? But I guess it is what it is. But then the irony of that, they won the first test in New Zealand. But then England could have also played better in the third test, knowing they would have had to up their game. But I think England got in such a high winning the first two test matches, they just switched off in the third test. So it's fine. I mean, it's fine. At least they got what they wanted.
I,
So it's cool.
yeah, look. I think after you win a series, the motivation is not there,
Yeah.
and a lot of times teams don't win their
Hmm.
rubbers. That's how it is. I mean, especially a team that's actually 2-0 up in a series, they don't end up winning at their rubber because there is no
Hmm.
motivation to win that final test. Whereas I think, I mean, in international cricket, you've got to be motivated for every single test match.
Ah.
And every time you go out and play for your
Yeah.
country, you've got to be motivated. But yeah, it is what it is. I think it was a great performance in New Zealand and a good send off for Saudi.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Who comes into this lineup. Going forward. But I think the one guy that really does impress me in that side is O'Rourke, Will O'Rourke.
Hmm.
I think he's got some real gas.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's really crazy. I think he could be a handful in Australia and England, and even in South Africa, Sid, because he's got serious pace.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hello. You there? Oh. 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 Sorry, Avish. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I was talking about Willow Rook. I think he's got some serious pace, and
Okay.
I think he's a bright prospect for the future for them. Anything
Okay.
else you
Let's.
want to add on?
Okay. Let me think. What was I gonna add on? No, I was
I
gonna
think we
say
pretty
the
much
final
covered it.
thing. No, no, no.
Hmm.
I was gonna say that England had their chance within the second inning. They started so well, but then they do English things. They kind of don't apply themselves. They were going at a beautiful run rate at five. I don't know what
Complacency,
it was.
complacency.
Not on complacency. Joe Root does this brain fade of a shot, gets himself out, and Brook. Fine, I'll give the bowler credit. Bowled some good ball at him, but they were too dependent on Brook. Bailing them out every single time. So it's one of those things. I'm over it now. England got their win. Good for them. New Zealand got the Southeast send off, so it's fine. It's cool. I'm over it. Let's get to the last segment, hey, which is the Afghanistan are really giving the Bobby hidings here in the ODI series. They won 2-0. I think it must have had rain in the last ODI, if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, you can see the Gulf in class here. Sid, I think Afghanistan have completely outplayed Zimbabwe in the series,
Mm.
and they are a formidable white ball team. Let's be honest. And call me crazy. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're one of the outright. I mean, they're one of the outsiders for the Champions Trophy next year. I think they can cause a few upsets. What do you think?
Um, I think it depends. Oh yeah, I am thinking of the Pakistan pitches. But Pakistan pitches are quite flat in ODI. They don't do much. If there was test matches, I would have thought. If they had a test cricket World Cup there, I would have thought they would have chances. But not the chances, but I guess it is possible. But I don't think they'll make the finals. If they could make a semi-final, and even then, I think that would be a big achievement for them. So I think the team will have to have their brains switched off though, because with due respect to, yeah, I mean, I think they will have wins, but I don't think they'll make a final. They'll probably
Look, I,
make a
I, I,
semi-final
I
at
think the
most.
one thing in their favor is they have good spinners. They
Yeah,
have good spinners, and the ball is going to turn in Pakistan. Let's be honest. I mean, we
really.
saw we saw in the Test series against England as well. The ball
Yeah, but
did
that's a
turn, so the
test,
ball
man.
is going to turn.
But that's a
But
test, man.
but
ODIs, I don't think
yeah,
they do
yeah.
that
But
much
I
in
mean,
ODI cricket here.
the pitches are quite slow in Pakistan as well.
Oh.
So I think reverse swing comes into that for. They've got Faruqi when it comes to reverse swing. They've got Ghazanfar, who's been a sensation for them. They've got Rashid. I think their bowling attack is one of the best. If their batting can
Mm-hmm.
actually get going, if their batting can give them those starts like they did in the World Cup and in the
Mm.
T20 World Cup, they can be a real force because I mean, if you look at the teams in the group, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, they've got
Mm-hmm.
Australia, SA, and England.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's a
they've
difficult
really
group.
fancied themselves against England, eh?
Oh, of course.
Mm.
But no, but then the ODI pitches in Pakistan, from what I remember, are not like the Test matches. The pitches will quite be mostly flat. I mean, I don't remember ever pitched reverse swinging for an ODI game in Pakistan, but maybe you got a better memory than me. I just remember Pakistan pitches reversing an ODI cricket. In Test matches, yes, I agree with you on that. But I wouldn't mind Afghanistan making us another semi-final. It's good for cricket.
Look, this is a side that's been growing. I mean, if you look at
That's
the
true.
World Cup last year, they just missed out by a game to make the playoffs. I mean, the semifinals. New Zealand took them to that, right? And then obviously in the T20 World Cup, that was one of the best World Cup showing so far. I mean, making the
Yeah.
semifinals, beating the mighty Australia along the way as well. And obviously New Zealand in the group stage as well. So they've taken
Mm.
some big scalps, son. They've
Mm.
taken some big scalps. So this is not a side I
Mm.
want to underestimate
Of course, of
because I
course.
know what happened in the UAE I know what happened in the UAE when SA did tour there in
Yeah.
September. So this
Mm.
is not a side that you want to take
Of course,
lightly,
yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, as you say, the pitches are quite fair.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's the batting as well that needs to obviously prove itself against the better
Mm.
sides. because I mean Zimbabwe is not the kind of quality that you want to test yourself
Hmm.
against, because they don't play against a lot of the big teams. But when you're playing the big teams, you've got to
Of
put
course.
runs on the board. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting. I think it's going to be quite wide open. If you ask me about, who's going to be favorites for it, quite an open tournament, eh?
Yeah, but I do find it kind of bizarre that you have India playing their games in UAE, if I'm correct. So, and the final be in UAE, so it's like two separate tournaments. India will win the tournament in UAE, and Pakistan will imagine if Pakistan win the tournament, it'll be probably the more fairer version of it. Although I don't know, I'm gonna have fans hating me for saying that. They'll win all the matches in the Pakistan, and they'll win the one match off. They'll win two matches technically in the UAE, beating India in the group, and then winning the final in the UAE. What a bizarre set of events, but it is what it is. The irony is, it can happen, but
It is what it
in
is, buddy. I
2025,
mean,
it can happen with India as well
yeah,
because Pakistan are playing hard.
it is.
It
It
can
is
happen
what
in
it.
2025 against India as well. I think for females, when having a tournament in India, they also played hardball with India. When we play India as well, for their thing, they're gonna have a neutral venue as well. So crazy stuff. But what to do?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, politics rules that, and I mean, this is more of a political decision than a sporting decision because I mean,
Yeah.
if you ask India and Pakistan players wise, I think both teams get along quite well. Both teams get
Yeah.
along quite well as a sporting team, but unfortunately, politics and the ugliness behind it, it obviously rules this. And when I think about it, it's been such a mess, right? I mean,
Hmm.
we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah. I was wondering what were they
We all
smoking when
knew
they did
India.
this?
We all knew by all means India were not going to tour to Pakistan. They made it quite clear. They made it quite
Hmm.
clear that they're not going to tour Pakistan. So,
Hmm. I don't know what was
if anything,
smoking.
they could have moved this tournament to the UAE.
Hmm.
But then obviously, uh, the Pakistan fans of this generation, unfortunately, are not going to ever see Indian players in play in the.
Hmm.
That's the most
Hmm.
unfortunate things. But it's
Hmm.
kind of a broken relationship there. We can't go back. That's a discussion on its own. Sir.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Fascinating
should have had.
discussion, but a
Yeah. They
discussion
could
on
have. They could have had it. They could have had
its
it in
own.
South Africa also. We have such lovely
Hmm.
weather. Especially if they had the Champions Trophy now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got good weather as well.
Although technically they couldn't have the Champions Trophy now because they're playing Pakistan in a Test series. But I'm saying in general, if we didn't have a Test series against Pakistan, we could have had a Champions Trophy now. Although actually we couldn't have because Australia playing India in Test series, so it is what it
Yeah,
is.
but
But
I think it's going to be one weird tournament sir, because I mean you've got Pakistan playing some of the games at home, and then you've got India playing all the games in the UAE. But exactly what you're saying now, if anything, India are going to win this tier tournament in the UAE. So it's a really really kind of strange tournament, eh? If you think
you
about
don't
it,
say.
really strange.
You don't.
Yo
Yeah,
yo
but the
yo
same thing.
yo
But
you're
the
really
same thing
strange.
can happen. But that's gonna happen for the female tournament when India hosted. Remember, I don't know if you read about the agreements that were put in, like bargaining chip. The Pakistan were playing hardball as well. That they were. They said if India's hosting their tournament, we're also gonna play India in a neutral venue. So I think it's gonna happen for 2025 for the female version where Pakistan will play India in a neutral venue. So it's gonna be the same situation. So I guess it is what it is.
Yeah
Any
yeah
final
yeah yeah yeah.
words? Any final words you want to before we wrap off? Don't think there's anything else we can add, unless you want to add in
Yeah, I
anything.
mean, no, I mean we good there, man. I mean, yeah. India on Boxing Day at
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne. I'm going for India there, and then obviously SA to get the job
Mm-hmm.
done in Centurion and qualify for that final. So those are my predictions.
Yeah, I mean, we need South Africa. It's been a good year for South African cricket. I think they made the semi-final of a 50 over World Cup, and then they made the final of a T20 World Cup, and they should make the final of the Test cricket World Cup final, and hopefully they play against India because I'm tired of seeing Australia in a
Yeah, I
final.
mean, look. I think of all the formats at the moment, I think Test cricket is probably is strongest format at the moment. So, I mean, given the results that they've had in the last couple of months, I think the Chess team is in a good shape. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
look, we take it for granted sometimes, but I think it's been a good improvement from SA. I mean, no
Hmm.
longer have been they been like coming out of group stages and exiting groups. They've been on an upward trajectory, so it's been good for
Hmm.
SA cricket in recent times, and may it long continue.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping for an SA India final because I'm tired of Australia.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd go for that as well.
Okay, man. Thanks for your time, man. But before we wrap off, are we on next week?
Yeah, we should be on. Let's say next week, Sunday, perhaps,
Let me
same
see
time,
the date. Okay, hold on a second. Next week Sunday would be the 29th. Yeah, that's fine. 2 p.m. And yeah,
2 p.m.
before we
Yeah.
wrap off, yeah, let's wish the viewers a great Christmas. And yeah, we'll check you all again before the New Year's.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy the festivities, and see you next week for the new year.
Okay, take care,